Good morning. We are in our final evaluations and summary sessions of the very first module that we have created for our YouTube series on starting a new small business, something that desperately needs to be done in the U.S. economy right now. Thousands of new businesses must be started because existing small businesses are not creating enough new jobs. Certainly not doing that expeditiously. Starting a new business creates new jobs, and the very first job created is that of the entrepreneur who is starting the business. If you've been following our discussions, you know that we created, I don't know, looks like to be about 45 small business keywords to address different aspects of starting a new business. And in our first module, we titled it "To Do or Not to Do Should You Start a New Business." I made a list of about, as I said, 40 small business keywords. Literally did them off the top of my head without any type of research, based upon my years of experiences in starting new businesses for myself and working with other friends to start new businesses. Our first small business keyword today is self-employed. You have a problem, a challenge if you were to be self-employed. Actually, I have been self-employed for most of my life, and it has worked very well for me. No reason why it can't work for you if you exhibit some of the other objectives, some of the other keywords that we discussed, such as time management, discipline, responsibility. All those things are very, very important if you're going to be self-employed. Working alone. If you start your business and you are self-employed, then you'll spend a lot of your time working alone. Is that something that you can do, or do you need others around you to motivate you with whatever work objective you might have? Experiences. Obviously, the more experiences one has, the better choices that will be made. You can create more options when you have experiences. That's not to say that you shouldn't start a business if you don't have a lot of experience in that area. It has to start someplace. It has to start sometime. Nothing happens until it does get started. Leadership. What type of leadership qualities do you possess? Let's talk about that for a moment. Within an organization, if you do establish an organization in your small business, you certainly must have strong leadership capabilities, and those people who are working with you must recognize that, accept that, and be motivated and driven by your leadership capabilities. Externally to your small business, what type of leadership qualities do you present? How do people perceive of you? If they perceive of you as a leader outside of your office, so to speak, in whatever field you choose, if they perceive of you as a leader, there's a greater chance that they will want to do business with you. And needless to say, good leaders bring value to the business, value to the marketplace. So leadership quality is something important. That's not to say that as you build your organization, you could bring in somebody into that organization who has some stronger leadership capabilities than you do. Self-starter, we've talked about this many times. As an entrepreneur starting a business, you must be a self-starter. No one is going to be there to tell you what to do, when to do, how to do it. You have to be the one to get it started, to make it happen. Decision making. As an entrepreneur starting a business, it is one decision after another, and you have to be able to make those decisions and act upon them. If it's hard for you to make decisions, it is not going to be very easy for you to start a business and to grow that business. Personal savings. We'll get into this discussion in module number 3, or maybe it's module number 4. But if you have personal savings, I suggest that's the place for you to start in your business. Because at some point in time, if you need to go out and get other people's money, be it a bank, be it a friend, be it a family member, an angel investor, a venture capitalist, whatever it might be, if you have demonstrated that you are willing to invest your own personal savings, that makes your position that much stronger in asking other people for an investment into your business. And personal savings is for savings. It's for good reasons, and there's no better reason that I have ever found than to start a business, because it's allowed me to then work toward the other objectives that I had in life. 2 sons that went to college. All of those things are reflective upon your personal savings. And interestingly enough, to that point, and I made a major decision about 3.5, 4 years ago, when I was projecting what Social Security would yield to me on a monthly basis about 4 years ago. I've only been taking Social Security, I'm now in my second complete year. I realized that that amount of money was not going to be enough to support my very, very simple lifestyle. At that point, I made the decision that I would invest personal savings in a business idea, a business concept that ultimately would generate more cash flow than my Social Security was generating. And I did make a very, very good decision for that. So take a good look at your personal savings. If it's drawing 3% interest or 4% interest or whatever it might be, you might be able to make it work smarter for you. Asking. It's very important as an entrepreneur starting a business that you are not afraid to ask questions, and ask very hard questions, because people, the marketplace, they're not going to come running after you. It's the questions that you present that will cause other people to stop and think, and geez, I never thought about that. Maybe this individual has something of value that I need to really pursue in my business, in my personal life. So the entrepreneur starting a business must never be afraid to ask the questions. Ask the good questions. Ask the hard questions. Then you can really also see where people are in their thinking, particularly if you choose to do business with that individual. Don't forget, and entrepreneurs, folks just starting a business, are in the desire to quickly generate cash flow for their business, sometimes they don't ask enough questions. And it's not just about the cash flow. Remember in an earlier discussion, I told you that it's extremely important to generate profitable cash flow, because if you just generate cash flow and it's taking too much time of that resource for you, then maybe it was not a very good decision to do business with that individual. So do not ever be afraid or bashful about asking the good questions, the hard questions. And the final thing that we'll discuss in this segment is flexibility. Whereas an entrepreneur starting a business has to be very directed, has to be very focused, has to have certain goals and objectives that need to be achieved, you have to be very flexible in your thinking, because things are not always going to go the way that you want them to go. So being flexible will allow you to make a quick change that needs to be made. And therein lies one of the very strong things about starting a business and owning a business, and particularly if you are self-employed and working by yourself, that you can make quick change. The larger the organization is, the more time it takes to make change, because more lives, more people are impacted by that. So the flexibility that you demonstrate as an entrepreneur starting a business, it works to your advantage. We're going to end this segment, and quickly we'll get it set up and do the YouTube descriptions that we need to do, and then begin our next one.